Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Owen talks about sports and movies. Thank you for checking out today's video. Let's get into it. Oh man, the Clippers have really backed themselves into the proverbial corner. I mean, they are so screwed, and I'm just gonna break down why. So before I do some Clipper bashing, let's just give credit where credit is due to the Denver Nuggets. They have really outperformed my expectations for them. I mean, they've come back down from 3-1 twice already. That's never been done by a team in the history of the NBA. So obviously that's amazing. Jokic, best big in the game. I already believed in that before the playoffs, and the playoffs have only proven that. Jamal Murray is a bona fide superstar. The Nuggets are deep. They've got a really bright future ahead of them, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But let's talk about the Clippers, man. They have really screwed themselves bad. And it's like the Clippers have they're done, man. I mean, obviously losing the 3-1 lead is bad, and blowing that is a major choke job. And just the chemistry of this team, it never felt like the Clippers ever reached their full potential. You look at them on paper, and that's easily the best roster in the league. As much as I love the Lakers, I will admit that on paper the roster looks better for the Clippers, and it was deeper. While I don't think Kawhi or the Paul George and Kawhi Leonard combo was better than LeBron and AD, the rest of the roster was a good portion better than the Lakers. But they just never clicked. I don't know what, they do a lot of load management. They had a lot of injuries, so they never had time. They never really just got it right. They just never did. And come playoff time, that costs you. Especially against a team like the Nuggets, who are not afraid and who have a lot of chemistry together and who rely on each other heavily. And there's just something about the Clippers was always weird. Even watching them, I was like, I don't know, man. It just never felt right. I don't even know if Kristaps Porzingis plays and doesn't get hurt. I don't know if the Clippers even make it to the second round. Their chemistry issues are just all over the place, man. I just don't know. The way Luka was playing and Kristaps, the advantage Kristaps had. I don't know, man. It was there's just a weird kind of combination of pieces, and they all should work together, but they just don't. So they went all in on a 2-year window to win a championship. They did last offseason. They went all in on a 2-year window, and they knew that. They absolutely knew that they only had a 2-year window. And now that year one of that window is good and gone and is never coming back and will be talked about for a long time now, they have 1 year left to rectify this, to get the chip. Or else, the Clippers will become irrelevant again. Immediately. Almost immediately. I mean, it won't even be funny just how relevant they're going to be. Because next summer, Kawhi and Paul George can both walk. You think that they're going to come back to this? Kawhi is definitely not. Kawhi definitely, if they don't win the chip, Kawhi won't come back. Hell, Kawhi might go back to Toronto, which I don't blame him. But, it's just they're locked into this roster that they have. They don't have a first round draft pick till 2027. That means that the people that they'll be eligible to draft are 11 right now. The people that they'll be able to draft in 2027 are 11 years old right now. My cousin is 11 years old. That's insane. They won't have a first round draft pick until my cousin can legally vote. That's absolutely bonkers, man. Insane. So you go all in with a roster that you're not even sure it's the chemistry is there to win a chip. That's that's not good, and it's I know I'm kind of don't sound prepared because I'm making this video like right after the game ended, but I don't have any other words to say than just that they're screwed. They have backed themselves into this corner, and they can't get out of it. I mean, even if they win the championship next year, which I don't even know. I mean, I wouldn't pick them to win it. It is going to be. I mean, they have gone so far in that there's no coming back from this. You know, they're going to go from title contender to bottom of the league overnight. And that's just kind of so insane. You know, you really don't realize how far in the Clippers are into this crap pile until you really look at it. It's not like they can shake up the roster. They don't have any picks. They don't have any young talent. Sure, they could trade some role players and stuff, but, you know, that's not going to warrant the type of changes they need for this roster. So, you know, I don't think Paul George performs well in the playoffs enough for him to even be your second star. He's shown that. And even Kawhi, who is great in the playoffs as he always is, did not play very well down the stretch. In the second half of Game 7, Kawhi and PG combined for 5 points, which is not normal for Kawhi. But we've seen that on Paul George time and time and time again. So they traded playoff P for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari, who are now starters on the Thunder, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 draft picks. And he doesn't show up in the playoffs. That's, you know, they're in deep crap. I mean, they're really into it. And Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, they were right, man. They were, and they let them know. I hope you've been reading the little Twitter beef over on the right side, but I'm scared for the Clippers because summer 2021, Kawhi leaves, Paul George leaves. They're done, and they're going to be back to being absolutely irrelevant, and that's just going to suck for them. And can we talk about how Doc Rivers is the most overrated coach in the league? He won a chip one time. Was about to get fired before that. And look at his resume since he won the chip. Is the only coach to blow now 3 3-1 leads. He wasted Lob City Clippers. He never got the chemistry right with this team. So I think there's a lot of blame on Doc Rivers. A lot of blame on Paul George. And I like Kawhi's gonna have to get some criticism for his performance over these last ones. Normally, he performed super well in the playoffs, but after this series, he really didn't. He underperformed. So I better hear some Kawhi slander, because if any other superstar performed like he did in this time period, social media will know it. But overall, the Clippers are screwed. So thank you for checking out today's video. I hope you appreciated it or you liked it. Make sure to leave your thoughts and comments below. I appreciate the support. Check out the link content. Have a great day.